by the way, not a prime Shaq. Young Shaq averaged 28 points, almost 13 rebounds, 7 assists, 2.5 blocks on about 60% field goal shooting. That's not getting dominated. Now, of course, losing 4 straight games is not a good look, but this is 23-year-old Shaq going up against Hakeem, who was like league MVP the year before, defensive player of the year. Like, Hakeem is no slouch. Hakeem is a beast, and Hakeem was in his prime. Shaq was only 23 years old. Penny actually played really well in that series too. Penny put up about 25 points per game on a good field goal percentage, and it just so happened, you know, they just couldn't get the job done against the more experienced Rockets team, who also, by the way, was the defending champion at the time. The Rockets won the championship in 1994. But you're looking at two guys that, at the age of 23, went to the NBA Finals together. They took out Michael Jordan. They took out Reggie Miller. Like, they were doing damage. Then the next season, they ended up getting swept by those Bulls. And then Shaq decided, you know what, I'm leaving, I'm going to LA, and the rest is history. But when they were together, they were one of the most exciting duos in the NBA. They were basically like Kobe and Shaq before Kobe and Shaq. But let me know what you guys think about young Shaq. I want to know your guys' opinion on Orlando Magic Shaq. If you haven't seen him, I definitely recommend you go watch some highlights after this video. After you watch the whole thing, of course. I know all of you guys always watch the entire video, and none of you guys never leave early. I appreciate y'all for that. But after this video, make sure you guys go check out some Orlando Magic Shaquille O'Neal highlights. I'm telling you, man, this dude was so athletic. Like, don't get me wrong, he was still strong as an ox. But when we think of Lakers Shaq, like, we think of a guy that was literally just bullying people down low. But Shaq's earlier days in Orlando, don't get me wrong, he was still strong, but you could really see the athleticism because, you know, he wasn't carrying that extra like 20, 30, maybe even 40 pounds that you know, he was carrying for the Lakers. But even with that extra weight, you could still see, you know, he was still a quick athletic guy, even at like whatever he played at in the Lakers, maybe like 330, 340. But let's talk about the game real quick. So we were running, as I said, a pure yellow 6'7" playmaker at the 1 for Penny Hardaway that has sharp takeover. Now, I would say Penny's probably more slasher or playmaker takeover, but Penny could shoot the 3 as well, so it's not the worst takeover to have to represent Penny. And then, of course, down low we have Shaq on my interior force with post takeover. But this video made me realize something. The post takeover is not bad for Shaq, but young Shaq, I feel like he should have athletic finisher takeover, like slasher takeover, but for a big man. But they don't in 2K20. I never even realized this. In 2K20, you cannot get slasher takeover on a center. Like, remember in 2K19, 2K18, like, you could have athletic finisher takeover. It was like slasher takeover for a big man. Why isn't that a thing in 2K20? I never even thought about it. I just wonder why it was taken out. If you guys know why, let me know. But I feel like for Orlando Magic Shaq, it would have been better to have athletic finisher takeover than post takeover. Because although he did score in the post, I feel like he was more just dunking and just a freak athlete. You know what I mean? We've talked about it. But I don't know why. I don't know why they took out slasher or athletic finisher takeover for centers. I know as a power forward,